So we're going to talk about camera settings and tricks and tips about your camera on your Samsung Galaxy phone. Today I'm going to use a S25 Ultra to show you some of the tricks and tips. So this is going to be based on One UI 7, but One UI 6.1 there's a lot of features inside as well that it may apply. And One UI 7 will be coming out very soon to all the Samsung users. So just stay put, it will be there for you. If you haven't subscribed my channel yet, please do so because this channel is almost hitting to 1,000 subscribers. I'm very happy and thank you very much for everyone that's supporting me, and I will keep on going to give you more contents about your Samsung Galaxy phone. So now we're going to dive in. What is the features inside the Samsung Galaxy phone, the camera settings, and tricks and tips that you need to know. So let's get started. So the first thing is we're going to turn on the camera. And the basic features is some people may misunderstand. There's pictures, there's photos, and there's portrait. Photos is basically if you actually have a bunch of people and you want to focus more than one object, then you can use photos, and you can use photos for 200 megapixel, 50 megapixel, and 12 megapixel. But however, if you actually want to focus on one object, you might want to consider using portrait mode. Because portrait mode, it will be focusing on that one object, and then the bouquet will be at the back. So it will be blurry and make sure that your object will be super focused on the photos. So if you actually want to take any photos, and let's just say you're taking food or your girlfriend or maybe like a cell phone, you want to actually use portrait and take a picture instead of using photos, because that way your photo will be much nicer. However, if you're actually looking for certain photos that is like super nice, let's just say you're going on a trip and then you want to take a nicer pictures, you want to go to photo options and then go at the top here, you want to use 200 megapixel. And now if you use 200 megapixel and let's just say you want to take a picture because you're traveling and things like that, now that 200 megapixel picture will look so much nicer than you using 12 megapixel. And in addition, on Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, the micro lens, let's just say you want to do zoom in, let's say 5 times and things like that. Did you know that you can actually use 5 times zoom with 50 megapixel? So now if you actually zoom in and actually take a picture, it actually looks so much nicer. Because on the old phones, let's just say S24 Ultra or even the Fold 6, they are only using 12 megapixel with micro lens. Now they upgrade to 50 megapixel with the micro lens. Very neat features on the One UI 7 is actually motion photos. Motion photos on One UI 7 is actually pretty good because let's just say if you're doing a selfie and suddenly your eyes actually close. Did you know that you can actually go into the gallery and then you swipe up, and now there's an option called choose best face. You go into there and now you can select a different face to replace your original face. So that way you can actually change your face because I don't want to have a closed eyes pictures. So this is actually brand new features on the One UI 7. So let's just say you're doing selfie and now you actually want to take a picture. Did you know that you can actually tell Samsung to take a picture for you by using capture, cheese, and record video? In order to do that, you have to go to the settings and then you have to go into setting shooting method. If you go to shooting method, you want to go in here voice command and then you want to turn that on or use your palm. So now if you actually taking pictures, you don't have to hold your phone like this and say, oh, I have to press this button. All you have to do is try to extend as much as you can, because you don't need to press a button anymore. So the way that you hold your phone like this, you can extend your arm further than rather you go like this, because you only can extend like this at a certain distance. Because you think that, oh, you have to press this button, you don't have to do it anymore. You can extend further. Now you can actually take a better pictures because you can tell them capture, cheese, and then now they will take a picture for you. So in addition, every time when you use palm or even you use voice to actually ask them to take picture for you, did you know in the settings, okay, we're going to go to setting first, and then we're going to go to the setting, we're going to go to camera assistance, and then right here you want to say timer multi photos options. Right here you can actually one palm, okay, so let's just say you do one palm, they will take 5 to 7 pictures for you, or even 3 pictures, but I would suggest go for 5 or 7 pictures. So one palm, they will keep taking picture for you 7 times, and then each time you adjust 1 second, 1.5 seconds, whatever you want. And then now you just do one palm, and then they will take multiple pictures for you. So you don't have to keep going forward and press a button again and then whatsoever. If you have an iPhone, you cannot do this. So you have to set a timer first of all, and every single time you have to go back and keep pressing it. On a Samsung device, you can actually just select one of these. So now one palm or one voice, you can take 5 to 7 pictures if you want. So now let's go to the video. So video, you have to understand certain things. First of all, you have to know that the front camera, okay, the front camera lens is actually a little bit less quality than the rear camera. The rear camera is always the best. So if you can, do not use the front camera, use the rear camera and do it like this, okay? That's the first thing. And the second thing is, make sure that you know that you are actually using UHD, FHD, or HD. So UHD is actually 4K. FHD and HD, you don't even need that. So if you actually want to record a very nice video, stick with the UHD. Now, let's just say 30 frame and 60 frame. You can see that, right? So 60 frame, if you want to edit afterwards into a slow-mo, use 60 frame. Do not use 30 frame. If you want to edit your videos and you don't really need to use slow-mo, you can use 30 frame, 60 frame, doesn't matter. But do not use 30 frame and then you edit afterwards and then you want to turn to slow-mo. It doesn't work that way because it will be laggy at the end. So now I'm going to explain to you the 8K now. A lot of people do not understand why do we need 8K. So let's just, for instance, if you're recording your child playing soccer, your dog running in the park, and you just cannot take pictures of your puppies or your kids because it's just running too fast. Did you know that you can actually take video first with the 8K and then go into your video and select whatever the frame you want, and you press this button, it will turn into picture. And then when you turn into picture, if you look at the quality, it's actually pretty darn good. So if you actually want to do that, make sure that you use the 8K first, record whatever you want, and take the picture afterward. You might think that, why do I need 8K? Why don't I just use 4K and take the picture out? Because if you use a 4K and take the picture out, the megabyte will be lesser, means that informations will be lesser. So it will be not as nice as using the 8K and grab the picture out from the frame. So make sure you use the 8K. If you need to take a picture but it's too hard, just use the 8K, record the video first, and then take the picture out. And remember, delete your 8K video because it does occupy a lot of space. So there is one thing I need to mention, is this right here. This is called super steady mode right here. I would not suggest you to turn on this super steady mode. It's because when you turn on the super steady mode, you can see it's only QHD, it's not UHD. And you know that if you use QHD, even though you grab the videos, even though you put this inside Instagram or Facebook stories, it still doesn't look that great because they're using QHD. So did you know that in the setting, there's already video stabilization inside already? So if you go inside your setting, camera setting, and if you go down here, video stabilization is already on. And then if you go down more, setting to keep, now you can see steady, super steady is on as well too. So 2 stabilization is already on. So you don't really have to turn on the 3rd stabilization unless you really need to. or else you just turn that off, and based on these stabilization or steady, super steady, it will work for you already. Mind you, if you in a dark area like this, please do not use flashlight, because if you use flashlight, there's two reasons why I suggest you not to. First of all, it will take out the color. It will either make it too contrast on your face, too red, or too maybe wash out your whole entire color because you're using a flashlight. The second thing is, if your area is dusty, okay, especially in the dark, if you use flashlight, you will capture the dust as well too. So I would not suggest anyone to use flashlight to capture anything. Remember that. If you're in a very dark area, please use night mode. If you do not know how to put a night mode, go on the more and then just drag it out to the outside and then press done, and then you can take out the night mode at the front if you're going to use night mode quite often. So night mode, it will be a little bit better, but do not use the flash, because night mode, they will actually change the picture a little bit, so make it more contrast, more sharper, and more brighter. So using software, of course, but it will be a little bit better than using a flashlight. All right. So I'm going to talk about Pro and Pro Video. Pro and Pro Video, these two options is actually really good, because if you are familiar with settings on camera, ISO, white balance, things like that, shutter speed, you can actually control everything on here. Even the sound, the mic, the left side, the right side, the back and the front, you can set everything up yourself. So if you're using Pro Video, you can actually set up your ISO, your shutter speed, your white balance, and your focus. It depends what you want. You can do autofocus or you can do manual focus. If you do manual focus, you can do central focus, whatever you want. And same as on Pro, on pictures, you can set everything up as well too. And the top right here, there's a hologram. You can actually adjust whatever you want. So if you're in the Pro version, because it's Pro, they will add a thing called RAW. You can turn on RAW or you can turn off RAW. RAW going to take a lot of information, okay, into your pictures, and then when you add it, it's actually much nicer, but it will take a lot of space. So if you do not want to take a lot of space and you want to still use Pro to take pictures, you can do that too. So it really depends on you. And right here, you can see the exposure monitor. So you can actually, if you adjust, make sure that you turn this on as well, so you can see how is your zebra is. If it's too exposed, you can see it right away. So this is like a zebra button right here. You can see that. If it's like, you can see at the bottom here, it means it's too exposed already. You want to lower it down, and then that's it. So Pro version right now on even One UI 7 is actually much more advanced than One UI 6.1. So in the setting, I think this is going to be the last one, and then the next video I will show you what you should do on your settings. But this is one of the features I would like to show it to you. Two settings that you need to figure out. So first of all, we are going to go to Auto FPS, which this means is if you do not turn this off, Samsung will, according to your environment, and then they will change your 60 frame to 30 frame. Because we all know if you use 60 frame to record a video, you need to have a bright environment, not like this. If your environment is very dark, they will actually change that into 30 frame to make it brighter. But what if you actually, your purpose is to take 60 frame in a dark area? So you don't want them to turn frame per second for you, FPS. So you want to turn that off if you actually want to decide everything yourself. And second thing is, if you go to camera setting, camera assistance, if you go right here, auto lens switching, you want to turn that off as well too. Because sometimes you will use a digital zoom to zoom in, so the quality, it will be lesser. If you turn that off, you're actually using a real zoom in lens to do all these like zoom in and things like that. So it's actually better for you than rather using Samsung decide which lens you should use. So I usually turn that off so it will be much better, because when you record a video, sometimes you can see it jump and jump and jump because the lens, it keeps switching back and forth. Today, this video, I will stop right here. The next video, I will show you more advanced because there's more features inside. And make sure to subscribe my channel, share this video, and have a good day. Bye bye. Peace out.